What is going on? Oh, man, I can't just stress enough how frustrating it is of watching that Lakers game last night. They were right there. They were this close of completing the comeback. But when you put yourselves in a 26-point deficit, it's going to take a lot to bounce back. It's going to take a lot to complete the comeback. Honestly, we have to start off with this. Credit to the Los Angeles Clippers. They played a really, really good basketball game. And we knew that this was going to be a battle. We knew that the Clippers were going to be hot. We knew most likely that Kawhi Leonard was going to play. And the Lakers came out there very, very flat-footed, which you can't do to, honestly, majority of teams in the NBA, and that's where we are at. The Lakers lose to the Clippers 112-104. They are now 1-1 to start their 8-game road trip. Now they got to go to Dallas. They're flying in tomorrow morning, hopefully, wherever the weather conditions are at. They got another tough one. The Mavericks have been playing better basketball through these last couple of games. It's only going to get tougher for the Lakers. We're going to dive into all of this. Post-game comments from LeBron James addressing the article that Baxter Holmes wrote. Then you got more stuff in regards to JJ Redick. I do believe that he is this close of just blowing up. Deondre Hawkins here with another beautiful edition of Lakers Talk Daily presented by Pachanga Resort Casino. And you can play your perfect combination at Pachanga Resort Casino, the official Native American resort and casino of the Los Angeles Lakers. Skip the traffic. Head on over to Pachanga Resort Casino just off the I-15 in Temecula. Visit pachanga.com or call 888-PACHANGA for reservations and for more information. So what's very, very frustrating is that the Lakers can never sustain a full 48 minutes of energy and effort. I don't understand why it takes the second half, especially these past few games, the second half especially, for them to figure out that they can win games off of energy, effort, high level on the defensive end of the basketball court. The first half, honestly, it was very, very dry. The Clippers were hitting every single shot. And I get it. There's certain guys that show up on a scouting report that you're not really aware of. And that certain guy for the Clippers was Kobe Sanders. How many wide open corner threes are we going to let him shoot? It was the same story. We understand that Russell Westbrook is not that good of a three-point shooter. But at some point, when he's hitting one, okay, he's hitting two, all right. Then he's hitting three. Okay, at some point, when are we going to guard? And, of course, you know what Kawhi Leonard can do? He's going to get to his spots. Kawhi Leonard only played 26 minutes. 26 minutes. He sat up majority of that first half when the Clippers got up to about 26 points. However, credit to the Lakers, because we know when the Lakers lose, especially this season, when they're down and they lose by a wide margin. So credit to them for making adjustments, for bringing different type of mindset, energy, and effort going into that second half. But it's tough when you're down by 26 points on the road. It is tough. And honestly, this is where I have to really, really narrow it down. We understand that everybody, ever since the Ivica Zubac trade, and everyone's like, the Lakers should never got rid of Zubac. There is some truth to that. We did not know that this is going to be the level Zubac was going to be at. If we're being honest, he has been one of the most reliable, consistent players in the NBA. Zubac had 18 points and 19 rebounds. He was very, very active last night on the glass. And that's the difference maker for that game, if we're being honest with you. His consistency on the offensive glass and the defensive glass, his big man presence, it makes a lot of things difficult. The driving lanes were a little difficult in that first half for the Lakers. The Clippers did a good job defensively on the Lakers. Now this is where I'm going to get into. DeAndre Ayton. My brother, 4 points and 5 rebounds. It got to the point where JJ Redick couldn't play him in the second half. He couldn't play in the second half. Remember when the Lakers had no choice but to go small ball when they acquired Dorian Finney-Smith, as they should, and that the way the roster was constructed? Guess what the Lakers did last night? They went small ball to finish the second half. And it was to their credit, it worked out to their defense. It worked out. There's times you see Luka Doncic in the pick and roll game with Deondre Ayton, and how many times we're going to see the ball just slip right through his hands, or he's not rolling straight to the basket, especially in the position where he needs to be at. One thing you know about Luka Doncic is this is what he's going to do. He's going to get you in that pick and roll game, and he's going to do the right thing. He's going to make the decision in that pick and roll game. He's always expecting his big man to roll to the basket. And there was moments, I remember that sequence. DeAndre Ayton got the lob. First off, he didn't dunk it. He tried to do like a little putback, didn't go in. Got his own rebound, tried to do a little floater, missed the shot. The ball goes out. The Clippers on the run. What happens? James Harden gets a wide open corner three. He misses it. Zubac gets a rebound. It was a bad sequence for DeAndre Ayton. And after that sequence, couldn't play him no more. 4 points in 21 minutes and only 5 rebounds. That tells me you were not aggressive enough. That tells me that your attention was not there last night against the Clippers. That tells me when you run into a big man like Ivica Zubac's caliber, he's going to struggle. That's what worries me now going down the stretch. The Lakers were always desperately needing a big man, along with wing defenders, along with guys that can shoot the rock. But now we're getting to this point, and it sucks because there was moments and glimpses throughout the season where you're like, "Ooh, there we go. That's good motor. That's good energy from DeAndre Ayton." And then you go in and you run into guys against a team that has a really good caliber big man. He struggles. He's not running lanes. He's not rebounding. He's not rim protecting. He has a very low motor. And what does the decision that JJ Redick has to do? All right, I have no choice. I have to sit you out. Because when Jackson Hayes, credit to him. Honestly, credit to Jackson Hayes. He is there all the time for an alley-oop. Every single time, he is actually in the spot that he needs to be, and he's dunking the rock. He brings a different type of energy when he does come off the bench. He's running the lanes. He's trying to contest without fouling. I know he gets himself into foul trouble a lot, but at least he's bringing energy. At least he's bringing effort. He's bringing a type of passion to the game. There are moments you're like, where is that passion at DeAndre Ayton? And that's what is very, very frustrating the most because does he have the skill sets to do it? He does. He has a nice soft touch around the rim. He has a great offensive game, but the desire, the willingness, the motor is not there every single night. And honestly, the fact that you can't close out games and JJ Redick has to either go with Jackson Hayes or is closing out small ball with Jared Vanderbilt, that is a problem. You can't rely on the small ball every single time down the stretch. At some point, we're going to need rebounders. And that's on. This is where we're at. Gabe Vincent. I was opposed. I still am. I'm going to stand strong on my stance as far as don't make any trade. There's no need to ride this season out. But every single time I watch that bench rotation come in, and honestly, this is not even a knock on Vanderbilt. This is not a knock on Hayes. This is not a knock on Rui right now coming off the bench. It's just very, very frustrating that the Lakers can't get that much of a bench production from any of their guys. Jared Vanderbilt did a fantastic job. I loved his energy and effort, especially in that second half. The Lakers were right there. They were right there. But the small tweaks and adjustments that JJ Redick did, that should have came earlier in the game. You knew that you're going to need, this is the type of game you're going to need energy and effort. You knew that, especially the way the Clippers have been playing. And you can't trust Gabe Vincent right now. You can't trust him. You can't trust DeAndre Ayton to gather up multiple games of consistency, high motor, high energy and effort. Gabe Vincent, with his shots not falling, he's getting picked on the other end of the floor. And we just have to be honest. So if the Lakers do make a trade, honestly, you're going to need to bring someone that is going to be in the same timeline with Luka Doncic, someone that can defend, someone that can space the floor and hopefully can knock down three-point shots consistently. someone that brings high energy and high effort. Because you can't rely on some of these guys down the stretch. This is going to possibly be another season where we're going to see Luka Doncic having to play 46 minutes. We're going to have to see LeBron James increase his minutes as the second half of the season goes. We're going to have to see Marcus Smart play a lot more minutes, especially when Austin Reeves gets back in the mix. I can't wait for Austin Reeves to get back in the mix because you're going to see certain guys in this role, in this rotation, that's minutes are going to decrease. And Austin Reeves are going to provide something different and a different look from other defenses. And it's going to help this Lakers team out. Hopefully he can sustain better energy and effort on the defensive end of the floor. And that's what leads me to Luka Doncic. JJ Redick making comments in regards to his willingness to pass the rock. It starts with him because the ball is in his hands. This Lakers team, they do need to trust passing the ball more. It's too much one-on-one ball. It's too much isolation. Let's let him go to work. At some point, you do have to drop a good offense. At some point, these guys are going to have to move without the basketball. And when the second half came along, they were playing the most highest level basketball when they were getting stops. Rui Hachimura getting in the stance, getting a shot clock violation. Jared Vanderbilt getting in the stance, getting a shot clock violation. Those are great possessions. Those are great defensive possessions because what does that lead to? It led to a nice play, drawn up, a three-point ball. Like, yes, there is selfishness amongst this Lakers team. There is times where, like, why are you shooting a step back three early into the shot clock? Why is it always one-on-one iso ball every single position? I understand if you're getting the mismatch on a big, but there is times when a double team happens and it's a forced shot late into the shot clock or early into the shot clock. So JJ Redick is right to that extent. Trust the passing. Trust moving without the basketball. Not everything needs to be off the rock, one-on-one isolation ball, which he has the generational talent to do so. That's why you have him on his team, especially that one-legged shot that he hit. That was big time. It made the lead and cut the lead down to 2. But you dug yourselves in a big hole being down 26 points. You're going to have this team. This is who they are. This is their identity. They know that they can score. They know they got the offensive willpower to beat teams. But you got to be able to play a full 48 minutes of basketball. It can't always come in the second half. You're lucky enough that second half, Denver missed a lot of shots. You're lucky enough that they didn't have certain other guys on that roster. I'm not taking away the win. That was a great win. It showed desire. It showed will, especially this game against the Clippers. It showed heart. It showed passion. It showed that these guys aren't going to quit, which is a beautiful sign to see. But it has to start early in the game, not in the second half, because now we're starting to get to the point with this game last night, then the Nuggets game and the Raptors. It's like, great second half performance. No, man, we need a full 48 minutes. That's where we're at. No more. It's a great second half. Hey, how about it was a complete game? That's where this Laker team needs to be at. And who knows? That's probably not going to be them. That's probably not going to be their identity. But there were some other comments that were made in last night with JJ Redick, with LeBron James. We'll talk about all that. Before I do, I have to let my partners at Pachanga give you guys a quick word.
At Pachanga Resort Casino, you can rock and roll, sip and slide, twist and shout. Play your perfect combination at Pachanga Resort Casino, official Indian gaming sponsor of the Lakers.
Whew. Lakers lose last night, 112 to 104 to the LA Clippers. And I just brought something and just came to my mind. And I'm not trying to point fingers, but when Luka Doncic went on the bench, it just clicked in my head. When Luka Doncic went on the bench and they went on that run, and I'm not saying this is all purposely because he went to the bench, but there was a different type of way you have to play. LeBron James was doing a great job of playmaking. You saw back screens for Marcus Smart. He was getting layups. You saw guys down on the floor for loose balls, leading that into transition buckets. The Lakers, this is who you have with Luka Doncic. I understand that he's been in phenomenal shape, and he actually is in phenomenal shape. He does a lot of things great offensively, a lot of things. his big time moments for making big time shots. He actually can play make. And that's why JJ Redick gets frustrated because the selfishness, there's no need to be because not only can you score the rock at will, you are also a great facilitator. And I understand when Austin Reeves gets back in the mix, this is going to be another different Lakers team. It is. Austin Reeves is going to help out a lot come offensively. But they need to be able to hold each other accountable. Hey, man, you got to play some damn defense. Hey, you got to take more pride at the end of the floor. When Rui Hachimura, I'm telling you, that was not even just him. That team defense looked great when they got that shot clock violation. Everyone from the bench is standing up. Luka Doncic is fired up. That needs to be majority of the game, getting collective stops like that. So they got to be able to hold each other accountable. Luka, you got to play defense. If not, this Lakers team, they're going to have to do a better job this offseason of surrounding him with the talent. They got to be able to put a lot of defensive wings, three-point shooters, big men that can protect the rim because him and Deondre Ayton in the pick and roll game obviously is not working out right now because Deondre Ayton is rolling to one spot and Luka Doncic is expecting him to be at this spot. And then you look at the other bench. Jackson Hayes, you can only give him a certain amount of minutes before you have to rotate him out the game. And no knock on Drew Timme. Drew Timme has provided a lot in limited minutes. But their Lakers are not getting much from their bench besides Jared Vanderbilt. And Rui Hachimura being off the bench last night provided a big spark. He hit a lot of big-time jump shots. But there is selfishness in this team. And there also is distractions. And that's what leads me to another point. When they're asking LeBron James how he felt in regards to that is a very awesome picture, Graham. Oh my goodness, that cracked me up. But when they're sitting there asking LeBron James how he felt about the article, what is his relationship with Jeannie Buss? Like, it's taken away what the goal is for this Lakers team. That article coming out, really, honestly, in my personal opinion, came out at the worst time. Because now we're sitting here, instead of talking about the product on the basketball court, we're talking about issues amongst the front office. We're talking about LeBron's relationship with Jeannie Buss. We're talking about LeBron and if he wants to be here this season. And him doing the passive, I'm good. I have no worries that LeBron James wants to remain here on this team. He is playing really, really hard. And I know you guys are going to call me a LeBron homer and stuff like that, but he's not really the sole issue of this team. It's a collective group. It's a whole team issue, roster construction. All that takes a toll. LeBron James does have his moments where he makes a couple mistakes. So this is not solely just to point out that everything is well with LeBron. No. But the fact that we going down after a game where it was hard fought towards the end came down to a lot of energy and hustle plays that changed the trajectory of this game. Getting down and cutting the lead down to more than 2 points when you're down by 26, that says a lot about this team. But yes, the fact that we're going there in the locker room, and one of the questions you have to ask is, do you want to remain here in a Lakers uniform? What do you want him to respond? How else is he going to respond? What are you gaining out of that? And then asking him how he felt about the art. LeBron James, whether you like it or not, he did come here and he helped out a lot. He changed a lot of the Lakers landscape, especially the direction that they were headed to. There's no question that he has been giving his all whenever he does step out on the basketball court. His relationship with Jeannie Buss, all that different type of things, that shouldn't be a worry right now. There is a lot of distractions that are happening. Whether you like it or not, the truth is the truth. Things like that can cause a distraction amongst the team. Dwayne Wade was sitting there on the broadcast last night, and I'm pretty sure you guys heard it. He's going out there and saying, it just looks like this team is not having fun. There's no togetherness. There's a lot of this outside external noise amongst the Lakers. There's a lot of distraction with this team. You can tell that they're not here. There's no desire. There's no will. There's no fight with this Lakers team. He was saying that in the first half. Of course, all those things changed as the second half came because you started to see them fight. You started to see them hustle. You started to see them get collective stops. But if Dwayne Wade, a Hall of Fame guy, who is saying that there's distractions, that this team has no fight, what do you think we, as actual spectators who watch this team every single night, what do you think that we're seeing out on the basketball court? That is the issue. The front office stuff, everything else externally, that's not the problem right now. The things are going to change over these next couple of years. I guarantee you that. These family businesses, the bus fam, all that stuff is going to be away as soon as new ownership actually has control. We need to focus on the product that's actually being out there and this team not doing the things necessary to win basketball games. That's where we're at with this Lakers team. But I'm gonna bring my guy in a little earlier today in today's episode because he told me he got some good stuff. My guy Graham, what is going on, my boy?
My guy, first of all, I just had to come back to this picture one time because it's so funny, and it was a lot of LeBron stuff last night. With the D Wade, he was going and talking to him, throughout the game before the game. So it's just funny how all the spotlight goes on LeBron when really he played an excellent game. He's been playing incredible. JJ said in the post game that these past like 20 games he's been incredible. So I'm sure this is how Braun's feeling right here, this face. But Deondre, we got something else to get into.
Okay.
It's been active today in the YouTube chat for sure. We even had our guy JF saying LeBron got that face where he reaching in the cookie jar. So I would love that. But a lot of controversy, and they talked about it on Sedano and Cap this morning, about this Luka 3 that nearly saved the day. So we'll just play it one time.
Okay.
Everyone remember this shot if you were watching the game, had no reason to be making that. But was it a travel, Deondre? They were really getting into this. I want to get your take first. We'll continue to watch this video. What do you see out there for this one?
So first and foremost, he comes down, he picks up the ball. It looks like his pivot is on the right foot. When he does lean, okay, just slow it down, right there, okay? The ball gets gathered up right there. He picks it up. Let's see where his foot is at as soon as the ball comes. So actually, pull back just a little bit on that step back. I think his pivot foot is on the left. I could be wrong. Yeah. So right there, at that moment, the pump fake goes up, right? Now play it forward just a little bit for me. I really want to dissect this. Okay. So the pivot is the right foot. However, since it's a jump shot, he actually has the ability to jump off that left leg. And so that's why you see it's not a travel. So technically that is not a travel because he came to a complete stop. Yes, the pivot foot was on the right, but it was a straight up jump shot. It's not that he was doing pivots, a reverse pivot or a front pivot. No, he just came straight into a jump shot, which leads to him to be in legal position to use that left foot off of a jump shot. I ain't gonna lie to you. I do it myself when I play basketball. To this day, there's moments where I get into the paint and I'm pump faking and I get into it. I got to move my, pivot and stuff like that. And I do utilize a one-legged jump shot. So I think the people in the YouTube chat are saying that Greg made that comment. Is that true, Graham?
So yes, Greg came out and said that looked like a travel, and you certainly can't blame our guy Corporate G for thinking that. It looks crazy on the first look, but Deondre, this is why you're a ball knower, and we actually had to check in with the NBA's head of referee training and development, Monty McCutcheon.
Oh, really?
And he said exactly what you said, Deondre. It is not a travel. The step back is the gather. It's not two steps. He establishes that right foot, just like you said, as the pivot foot. And then after that, he can jump off that left foot. So, guys, this is why you tune into LTD Live. We're breaking it down, X's and O's. We're going frame by frame, and we're calling it right. So shout out to UD and shout out to Monty McCutcheon. Definitely just a crazy end to that game.
I can't believe he went out there and said that this was a travel. Oh, bro, there's been way worse travels that we have seen, especially in today's NBA. And we're going to nitpick that one? I'm sorry, Greg. There's no way you're nitpicking that he traveled on this play. First off, that's a hell of a shot from Luka Doncic. And the fact that he was able to stay on foot and stay balanced enough to get into a shooting position to get that shot off because Chris Dunn, he played hell of a defense on that possession. Chris Dunn is honestly one of the better defenders in today's NBA. That's why you see him utilized a lot in that Clippers rotation. But once again, he came down off the left, jump stopped. He got in a position to where he was able to use that pivot foot on the right. But just because he gathered it it leads into straight into a jump shot. It's not like he's sitting there and stepping through. No, he's able to utilize that back foot, which he did, and was able to do a drifting three. And it happened to be one of the focal points of the game to cut the lead down, I believe, to 2 points,
It
right?
did. It did, exactly. And I got to give a shout out to our social guys. Jonathan Martin and Reese Andrews were out there at the Intuit Dome last night, got this awesome shot. And Deondre, when we post clips like this, especially with LeBron as well, all of the comments, every single one is, oh, this is the travel. What happened to the NBA? Was it? Well, we tapped in with Monty. You can't say this one's a travel. And
And
even as he was putting up that shot, Luka, I felt this way. Tell me, feel the same, DeAndre. He's doing all this BS. He's already picked up his dribble, and yet I just knew that he was gonna put it in the end.
see, they're really really funny because you look in the YouTube chat. Shout out to
Oh,
Brian. He says that Greg likes to get people going, and you know what? I just have to bring this up. Greg really did get me going because he came on the DeMarco and Travis afternoon show, and you know what he did? Do you know what he did, Graham Metzger? He
tell
went
me.
under and said that he believes that Drew Timmy should be getting more minutes than Rui Hachimura.
Oh
Are you
no.
kidding me right now? Did we not see what Rui Hachimura did in that second half specifically? Especially the big time jump shots that were needed, the 3 pointers, him getting to the driving lane off of one dribble pull ups. Those were shots that he needed. Once again, in his limited minutes. Drew Timmy, he's been playing well, but you're not going to sit there and knock Rui Hachimura's ability to do certain things that can help this Lakers team on the basketball floor. Could we not? Also, Greg also be saying that Rui doesn't play defense. I really wish you could pull up that clip of him getting in a stance, sliding his feet, and forcing a shot clock violation. That is where we were at. I got to get on it right now, Greg Bergman. I can't believe he got me fired up from that. And that, I'm so glad you brought that up. That is not a travel. And shout out to Monty McCutcheon for coming on the morning show, man. But
Shout out to Monty. And look, another reason to listen to LTD live. A couple days ago, DeAndre, we were talking about do we like Rui coming off the bench, and he gave you 12 off the bench last night. And look, we don't want to be the people to rain on this Drew Timmy parade. It's fun. He's got the good T-shirt, but we'll just keep it at we like what Rui has been given off the bench. That was one of the pros of last night, and altogether a disappointing night. But at least we know ball, DeAndre.
I appreciate you guys tuning in. We out.